Alright, you guys. Well, I'm going to start reading this book called Behold a Pale Horse by Milton William Cooper. And it was written or published in 1991. I remember reading this book 2008, 2009. And it's been a very long time. So I'm going to reread this book because I don't remember it as well. So let's just go ahead and start it off. This section is called About the Book and About the Author. Bill Cooper, former United States Naval Intelligence Briefing Team member, reveals information hidden from the public. This information was kept in top secret government files since the 1940s. Cooper unveils the truth as he writes about the assassination of John F. Kennedy, the war on drugs, the secret government, and UFOs. Cooper was a lucid, rational, and powerful speaker whose intent was to transform and empower his audience. Standing room only was normal for his events. His presentation and information transcended partisan affiliations as he clearly addressed issues in a way that had a striking impact on listeners of all backgrounds and interests. He spoke to many groups throughout the United States and appeared regularly on many radio and television talk shows. In 1988, Bill decided to talk due to events then taking place worldwide. Events that had seen plans for back in the early 70s. Afterward, he correctly predicted the lowering of the Iron Curtain, the fall of Berlin Wall, and the invasion of Panama. All Bill's predictions were on record well before the events occurred. Bill was not psychic. His information came from top secret documents that he read while working with the intelligence briefing team and from over 17 years of thorough research. So we have an idea of what this book is going to talk about. And like I said, I don't remember much about it. I just remember bits and pieces here and there about it. So I really want to reread this. I want to see if there's anything in this book that he talked about that we starting to see or already did happen after the fact that he wrote this book. So let's go into the introduction. Some time ago, I had the opportunity to meet William Cooper and his wife Annie. It was part of my job to verify whether this man did indeed speak the truth or was just another person seeking fame and fortune. What I found was a rugged, bulldog-driven individual who was kind, thoughtful, and tender-hearted. He was truly concerned about you and your welfare. Bill knew that people were badly informed by a society that spoon-feeds you deception until there is no discretion between fiction and reality. So remember that part. Bill knew that people were badly informed by a society that spoon-feeds you deception until there is no discretion between fiction and reality. I think it's safe to say that present time, we are and we have been being fed deception, lies, confusion. So what is he talking about? Just that part itself. We think about present time, we are being fed deception. We are being fed a certain narrative. We are being fed certain information. And some information is not being told to the public. So we're seeing that now. And he's talking about this back when he started going around and talking to people. So it's very strange that he's actually talking about us being spoon-fed deception, because we are seeing it in real time in today's date. So let's go on. There are many who do not want you to know what Bill has to say. They have tried many times to stop him from saying it. The scars on his face and the loss of his leg are his badges of sincerity on your behalf. No one became popular by telling people the truth. History records what happened to the true prophet of the past. However, some have listened to their warnings and were not caught off guard. Others have put their heads in the sand and refused to listen. Bill has it together and has put it together for you so you can also be one of the informed of the world. A well-informed person can make the right decision. William Cooper has my vote of approval because I cared enough to find out who the man is. Now is your opportunity. I like this part of what he was saying in this paragraph. A well-informed person can make the right decisions, and that is very true. Let me bring up an example of what is being ill-informed means. And being well-informed, you can make better decisions. The ill-informed, and we went through it, was a COVID-19. What were we told about COVID-19? Well, we were told that if you took the shot, it will prevent you from getting COVID. And if you did get COVID, you will not have the symptoms. They said it was safe. They said it will save lives. And that was the corporate media and the politicians talking about this, telling us that this COVID vaccination was safe. That's what we're being fed, some deception. And we were ill-informed. But once everything started coming out, that where this virus came from, who funded this virus, who was behind the virus, becoming well-informed, now we understand that this vaccine does nothing, because information also came out that the vaccine itself is an attack to your own system. So by being well informed about these things, getting the full information, definitely gives us the opportunity to make the right decisions. Now let's move on to the preface of the book. There have been many related sequential coincidences all throughout my life. Incidents that by themselves would have led nowhere. Statistically, the odds against the same or a related sequence of events happening to one individual are astronomically high. It is this series of incidents that have convinced me that God has had a hand in my life. I do not believe in fate. I do not believe in accidents. I cannot and will not accept the theory that long sequences of unrelated accidents determine world events. It is inconceivable that those with power and wealth were not band together with a common bond, a common interest, and a long-range plan to decide and direct the future of the world. For those with the resources to do otherwise would be totally irresponsible. I know that I would be the first to organize a conspiracy to control the outcome of the future if I were such a person, and a conspiracy did not yet exist. I would do it in an attempt to ensure the survival of the principle in which I believe, the survival of my family, my survival, and the survival of the human race, if for no other reason. I believe, therefore, that a grand game of chess is being played on a level that we can barely imagine, and we are the pawns. Pawns are valuable only under certain circumstances. and are frequently sacrificed to gain an advantage. Anyone who has studied military strategy is familiar with the concept of sacrifice. Those who have seriously studied history and have probably discovered the real reason we go to war on a regular basis. Before reading this book, I advise you to play at least 2 complete games of chess. You must learn the rules they play by. You must realize objectively that some pieces are more valuable than others, and that the king is the most valuable of all. You cannot learn reality if you get caught up in the fantasy that it's not fair. You must come to know that the ultimate outcome of the game is the only thing that counts. You were lied to when you were told that it does not matter whether you win or lose, but how you play the game. Winning in the world of the elite is everything. Indeed, it is the only thing. The power elite intend to win. My research has shown at this point that the future laid out for us may be just about impossible to change. I do not agree with the means by which the powerful few have chosen us to reach the end. I do not agree that the end is where we should end at all. But unless we can wake the people from their sleep, nothing short of civil war will stop the planned outcome. I base that statement not on defeatism, but on the apathy of the majority of the American people. 25 years ago, I would have believed otherwise. But 25 years ago, I was also sound asleep. We have been taught lies. Reality is not all what we perceive it to be. We cannot survive any longer by hanging on to the falsehoods of the past. Reality must be discerned at all costs if we are to be a part of the future. The truth must prevail in all instances, no matter who it hurts or helps. If we are to continue to live upon this earth, at this point, what we want may no longer matter. It is what we must do to ensure our survival that counts. The old way is in the same process of destruction, and a new world order is beating down the door. To cling to the past is guaranteed suicide. To remain apathetic is assured enslavement. To learn the truth, then act on it is the only means of survival at this moment. To shrug off the information contained in this book and to disregard its warning will result in the complete destruction of the Republic of the United States of America. You will never get a second warning or a second chance. Like it or not, this is it. Stark reality. You can no longer turn your head, ignore it, pretend it's not true. Say it can't happen to me. Run or hide. The wolf is at your door. I fear for the little ones, the innocent, who are already paying for our mistakes. There exists a great army of occupationally orphaned children. They are attending government-controlled daycare centers and latchkey kids who are running wild in the streets, and the lopsided, emotional, wounded children of single welfare mothers born only for the sake of more money in the monthly check. Open your eyes and look at them, for they are the future. In them I see the sure and certain destruction of this once proud nation. In their vacant eyes I see the death of freedom. They carry with them a great emptiness, and someone will surely pay a great price for their suffering. If we do not act in concert with each other and ensure that the future becomes what we need it to be, then we will surely deserve whatever fate awaits us. I believe with all my heart that God put me in places and positions throughout my life so I would be able to deliver this warning to His people. I pray that I have been worthy and that I have done my job. So this section of this book is very telling of what He's foreseen for us in the future. It is true that once welfare kicked in here in the United States, the father had to leave the house just for the mother to get that kind of assistance. It talks about government-controlled daycare centers. Look at our schools. We're seeing in real time what these public schools and the indoctrination within these public schools are creating, which is far left radical lunatics. Now, I don't know if that's what he was referring to, but what he is referring to is the government-controlled daycare centers, which is obviously one of the, could be the public schools. And as I'm reading this, I'm just honestly kind of tripping out on it, because there's a lot that he's saying, which is our freedoms being gone, government-controlled daycare centers, single mothers on welfare. I mean, we're seeing it, and he's speaking about it, and all those things that he's talking about, it is affecting us on today's date. Pretty crazy, since he wrote this in 1991. This is my creed. I believe first in God, the same God in which my ancestors believed. I believe in Jesus Christ and that He is my Savior. Second, I believe in the Constitution of the Republic of the United States of America without interpretation, as it was written and meant to work. I have given my sacred oath to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I intended to fulfill that oath. Third, I believe in the family unit and in particular my family unit. I have sworn that I will give my life if it is required in defense of God, the Constitution, or my family. Fourth, I believe that any man without principle, that he is ready and willing to die for at any given moment, is already dead and is of no use or consequences whatsoever. I'm going to leave it at that note. I think that was pretty cool. They didn't plan it, but I like it. It's going to leave off on a good note. And it is something that we're all awakening to. We're starting to see how our country, United States, is disarrayed right now. We are having foreign and domestic terrorism within our country. And it's a strange how just reading this first couple of sections of the book, it kind of gives me a little turmoil of all the things that have been happening and has been amplified since Donald Trump took office. But I'm going to leave it there, and I'll go ahead and pick up where I left off and see how you guys like me reading this. My reading isn't that good, so bear with me. I'll do my best, but leave things in the comments and let me know if this is something you guys like. But I'll see you guys on the next one.